else. And that's what we're trying to, kind of control.
Sure.
But this is a gray area for me, and that's kind of why I brought it here.
This is in rural preservation, this property.
Yeah.
And so would there have to be a conditional use for this? Would there have to be a conditional use permit?
Why?
Because we have a list of everything that's conditional uses and,
Is that in there?
you know,
Home-based businesses and
commercial stables.
Commercial
But
stables.
it's not
It's not a
commercial.
commercial
Yeah,
estate.
I'm just saying.
I personally, if I had to look at it myself as a zoning administrator, I would say that these horses are for a personal enjoyment of someone who happens to be a doctor and she wants to help people and by allowing them to see her animals. I mean, that's how I would look at it. And if neighbors started complaining or something came of it that became a bad business, we do have a nuisance ordinance and that's how we control our home-based businesses also.
Well, I think we should help the business, help people.
And I'm familiar with that area.
Oh.
I know some of the people, but, again, to Lorelai's point that we don't want complaints afterwards, would there be any reason not to send a letter out to your neighbors
No, that
through
would be
the
fine.
town, and then that way at least,
They're
when
notified.
you put a sign up, one of your neighbors down the street, 2 houses down, goes, what the heck is going on here? And then they're in here.
Sure.
I don't know what.
You
the
could
policy
just send
is.
a letter of introduction to your neighbors.
Yeah, I can do that. But I think there's only, I think some are seasonal. I don't see some people on the end of the
Oh,
Blue
on the south
Ridge.
side of the road are.
Right.
Residents.
So we're talking
Looks like 4.
4 or 5. maybe.
5?
There's
Yeah.
I see
4.
1, 2, 3,
The one is
4.
new. The 2 on the end know us.
Yeah.
No,
The ones on the south side of the road.
just the guy next to us, the guy right next to us.
Right.
That's a
And,
courtesy.
yeah, we've only ever talked to him once, so.
I'm not, and it isn't,
Well, and
it's
two
it's
across
courtesy,
the road.
but it's also awareness ahead of time.
sure.
So that-
Yeah, I don't have.
And I don't know, that's the town's obligation to send a letter out or,
I don't want to start setting a precedent like that
okay.
unless we're going to do it for every home-based business.
Steve Ryan live on the corner?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So do we have to consider recommending approval of this home-based business? Is that or is that part of what we're looking to do here?
Implemented town board.
Because I think we've talked about it. I think it's a great thing. I would make the motion to approve, to recommend approval to the town board of this home-based business. But before I do that, do we also have to do anything with this sign permit or? It looks like in the permit, it's gonna, this is just supplemental for us
Yeah,
to
we'll
write to the board.
handle it.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna conform. Okay, so then yes, my motion would be to recommend approval to the town board of this home-based business, for Connections on Blue Ridge.
I'll second it.
I'm giving it to Angie.
Okay.
Second by, motion by Adam and second by Angie. Third by Dawn.
I'm not writing that one down.
I just wanna say before we vote, I appreciate you coming in and I am for it as well.
Oh, okay.
Anybody that is willing to get the help deserves it, so, I'm all for it. I had a concern with public safety and, like you had mentioned, if it wasn't safe for them to be there, you wouldn't invite them.
Absolutely. Cause I still have grandkids live with us.
Right.
I have to think of their safety as well.
Yep, and I personally know, the young lady that's riding.
Oh.
there, So.
You do?
I've heard a little bit about you before
Okay.
today, so. All right, we have a first and a second to recommend approval of the Connections on Blue Ridge. All those in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Best of luck. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So we'll
Sign with
see
the
you on
board.
next Wednesday night for the sign.
Next one.
Or you don't have to be there.
Okay.
The board is going to look at the sign.
Okay. Do I need to
None
you
of
don't
us,
need this part?
they'll get that.
Okay.
If they have questions.
If you want to take a sweet picture of that cool sign and email it to Lorelai, then the board can see.
I'm actually going to keep.
Oh,
this
did I
if
not look
that's
at this?
okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
This is what
Yeah.
yeah, this is what I'm going to send to the board.
Even better.
Or I can keep in the back of my car until this one's and have a field trip.
I won't be there to hoist it in.
Okay.
And Josh Ashworth sits on the board, so he'll be able to relay a lot.
Yep, I'm on the
Oh.
board too, so.
All right.
I'll
So
be the
you
next
might,
one to-
might be able to explain a little.
Yep. All right. Okay. On to the next. Are you guys here for anything in particular on the agenda? I guess if you are, I was gonna move to that. If you're not, we'll go back to item number 6.
6 it is.
You guys don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you can if you want. Looking at the weather, you might want to.
We'll hang for a minute.
All right, item number 6, solar battery storage ordinance.
Right, so, this is the worst ordinance I ever wrote. I mean, this was the hardest one because I had no help. There's nothing out there to help. But I had a lot of documentation from the state and from other government agencies that said, you know, make sure you watch for this, watch for that. And I did order the NFPA 855. However, due to our mailing service, I just received this Monday when I got here. So, but in looking at it, just browsing it, I see nothing that helps me with the containment issue that we are dealing with. And as you know, I didn't put a whole lot about containment in there because I just didn't know how to word it. Because the NFPA are the standards for the installation, and I'm not sure if I can go tighter than what the NFPA recommends. So I have a message to our attorney to see if she has any recommendations based on what you have asked for. And I haven't heard back from her yet, but she was on vacation all week, so she doesn't have back. So if we can discuss what I wrote and then go from there. And the other issue was I did talk to Invenergy today, and I said, you know, we've heard from this guy a couple months ago about the batteries, and I've been trying to contact him to no avail. He doesn't call me back, doesn't email me back. What's going on? And she just said, we're not doing anything with batteries yet. We don't even have them approved yet. So it's a year out for the batteries. So we are ahead of the game. So it's not like we have to get this done tomorrow, but I want to keep working on it and work towards it. So if you have questions on what I wrote or ideas, let's talk about them now, Josh.
So they haven't asked for any kind of application
No,
because
it's just we know that we're going to get them because it's in our agreement, but we don't know what kind. And there are several different kinds of batteries. We don't know. We kind of know the area, but that's not carved in stone either. And nothing is carved in stone with these batteries yet. So that's why we've got to be a little proactive.
yes, because I read through the state statute. It looks like once they make the application, we're under a deadline. So yeah.
If anybody wants to take this home and read it,
Yeah, right.
I'll take it.
no, I mean, it does have a lot of information in there, but it's got 3 pages of references to other NFPAs.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of research.
It's hard to get that book. You got to buy it. You
Yeah,
can't-
Well,
this
and it's
this
hard
little
reading.
book was
It's not
$210.
Yeah.
Not that we're gonna sit and go through the whole thing with this type of an approach, but just something that jumps out and can save a few pages or a page probably. They're not numbered, but page 3, 100 districts. Since RS1, since the first, basically all of the districts are exactly the same. All the zoning have the exact same stipulations. You could summarize it to just say, instead of having A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all listed out like that, you could just say for these zonings, here's the standard. And then for rural preservation is the only one that has a slightly different.
Yeah.
I think that could be condensed and just be.
I did that for you guys though, because I chose that it goes in rural preservation. But if you're gonna tell me that it goes in some other district by a conditional use or something, I want to have the ability to erase them, not to.
Like, to
And I
alter
want
just
to make
one.
sure you've seen all of them so that you can make your choices. I can cut anything, but to add it back in there when not remember,
Fair.
To expand from a summarized version
I'm getting
is
old.
harder than,
guys.
it's harder than summarizing the expansion.
I did have one question through this thing.
Sure.
Well, it'll be page 13, says that confirmation of remote monitoring team 24 hours daily, 7 days a week.
Yes,
But it doesn't say anything about having somebody within a certain time frame to assist if you need it.
it does not,
And that's my
because of the contacts with the fire department. And that's a good point. If you want to discuss that and have something like that in there, I can do that.
Well, I just said, I mean, your other system is run by Alliant, which you can contact somebody.
This will be run by Wisconsin Power and like,
As long as they have to have a contact.
we do have
available.
to, by law, we have to have a contact, but at this point in time, my contacts are this guy for solar, this guy for land, this guy for civil, so my contacts are very spread out for this right now.
Is this, it's the Saratoga Solar, but We Energies will take it over after it's built.
Yes, just like Alliant took over.
Yeah, but it's We Energies. Well,
Oh, it's We Energies, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I hope, because that falls into.
Whatever it is, it is. I couldn't remember right off. So, yeah.
We Energies. I hope they're gonna own it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you are
No
right.
wonder they approved it so quick.
Yeah.
And I have checked out all my references to make sure that they are absolutely correct.
So in regards to this, Laura, thank you first of all for just very openly in the beginning saying that we understand that the containment piece is missing in here, because my first read, I'm like, wait a minute, we're missing exactly what we have been talking about. So I went down the rabbit hole like I always do.
Yeah, that's
have
good.
handouts for everybody.
All right. I did.
They are not detailed like your stuff, Lorelei. It is simply bullet points of what we can be looking at. Just to give us we've talked a lot about things and we haven't really put anything on paper. So I thought maybe let's just get some ideas out there that we can maybe reference and work around.
You told me to put it on paper and send it to you as fast as I could.
And you did wonderful. I was very happy because then it gave me time to play. And what I did is I went through and looked at it and kind of pulled it apart and looked at the environmental protection side, like where we talked about containment and what do we need. Oh yeah, there should be an extra copy for Lorelei.
Thank you.
She's got it.
Got it.
I looked at what do we need in regards to protection, and I threw stuff at AI, and there was stuff that I chose to take out because I felt like it went beyond the scope of what we were looking for. And there was 3 or 4 pieces that I thought would fit within this document if we could come up with wording for it. And that is the secondary spill containment, the impermeable container pad is what we have been talking about, and the fire water containment, which is what we were talking about in regards to if there is a fire and not getting it into our groundwater. So definitely not put into any kind of ordinance like you have. I am not that smart in order to do that.
I can do that.
But I wanted to give at least 3 or 4 bullet points for each one of where we could focus some language. My only one that I'm really kind of questioning is number 3, the containment pad, because everything out there that I've been reading is about concrete containment and having them on concrete. And I know we've talked about bladders, we've talked about, things to reroute to drainage ditches, and we've kind of talked in circles around a lot of things. I have concrete containment pad on here because that is what seems to be recommended. But I thought maybe this is just a place where we could start looking at some wording for protection on the battery area.
I want to highlight the one thing that is very imperative before we go forward with the battery containment area. We have to know what kind of batteries we are dealing with. In reading the NFPA, there are 3 types of batteries, and each one has their own issue. So before we decide what we want for that, you know, like, do we want to control the air, the water, the ground? So each battery has problems. So I'd like to know what kind of battery that we're dealing with before we start addressing that. Yes, the containment of concrete is, I think, an excellent start, but I think we also have to worry about other
pieces.
pieces of it. So and that's a little bit of what I just thought of. But,
So the type, we know they're gonna be lithium batteries, I'm guessing.
we
What?
do,
Well, that's what the other ones were. Lithium ion batteries, or the
But-
96 that we have.
technology changes,
Very
and so
quickly.
does cost, and so does the use.
Mhm.
And a lot of it was based on if they're tying it into a system, if they're using readily available energy, if there was some criteria based on what batteries they were going to use, Rob. So
Okay, so regardless of the battery, no matter
Okay.
what, if they're spraying water on, cool them down, whether it's a battery or a transformer or
Yeah.
a switch or an inverter, which from what I've been doing some research, they're more hazardous as far as starting fires, those 3 than batteries. But regardless, the water has to be contained. It doesn't matter what
Yep.
what it is. It
Exactly.
still has to be contained and controlled. So I would hate to not have something put in place ahead of time, waiting for batteries. If we're waiting for answers from our questions for how long with no report.
we shouldn't have to wait for long, because when they propose it
Mhm.
for their array, they will propose a certain type of battery. So I'm assuming when they send it to, what is it, EPA? Yeah, when they send it to EPA, we would know right away. I mean, if we just watch.
Are we walking that fine line though, when once it's proposed for us to put something in place afterward?
Well, we could also address each one, each type of battery.
I hate to say that that's what we should do, but I almost think that's what you should do. Because some of them you may be addressing in the same way. It may be all 3 of them are appropriate for a concrete pad with a curb where water is,
And-
you know.
And we also have to remember, this ordinance is not just for the utility size battery storage. We're talking about residential and other commercial rooftops, whatever. So addressing all types of batteries is probably a good idea.
And I think we should do that
Okay,
sooner than later myself. That's my opinion, but
well, we're working on it.
I would like to see some sort of a ordinance for water containment and they can change those batteries at any time to a different style. And then now we're
Yeah,
caught behind again too, so.
yeah.
They might come up with something that's even more hazardous, some chemical, full of chemicals that if we have to put water on them, that it's gonna get into our groundwater. We don't know what that future is either, so I would think that regardless, we need to have a
Okay.
containment pond in some way to.
Susie gets done with that, then I'll take a gander at it. And
You want it first? That's up to you.
no, go ahead. I'll look at what Christie said. I'll look at these. These are,
It's generic, but it's just ideas of where we could focus.
Well, I think you mentioned, no matter what style battery they use, we still have to contain water. Any water we
I
use
feel
needs to
that
be
way.
contained.
And the number 4 that Christie's got in here is one of the tough ones, because from what I'm reading, if that thing is emitting smoke, the water knocks some of the hazardous chemicals out of the smoke. Now we spread it.
and
Well, and
that was
there's-
a different type of battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Yeah.
you know, I didn't add in the leak detection system and the groundwater mining and spill prevention control countermeasures, but there was things in there, all the chemicals that need to be tested once and if an event happens. I mean, I have that information. It was just beyond the scope of what I thought we were kind of looking for. You know, but yeah, it goes back to the containment, and the more I looked into that concrete pad situation, just about all of them had what I have there on the, I think it's bullet point 3,
Mhm.
curbing. That if
Oh,
the water's
absolutely.
not running off the cement,
Yeah.
it is all diverted to a specific area, and then, you know, you got your containment right there. And then water testing is required of that drainage water. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information, and
I will definitely,
it's overwhelming.
I will get these codes. Wonder if they have online.
The information we got from the fire department on how much water we're using water to cool, basically to cool the batteries around.
Right.
There is a formula in there, the NFPA.
Okay.
Like,
I
do you
did see that.
What size containment area would we need for the hours of?
Well, that's just that containment area would have to drain into some other kind of pond
Or be
or
removed.
something, yeah, or pumped and removed out
And
somehow.
that's not impossible because your landfills are all lined with bladder. If they wanna make a big enough spot, they can.
Then that should be required.
Paper mill did.
Yeah.
Maybe we already just that's something, because if you're containing it within that pad, it has to go somewhere
Right.
as well, and it has to be disposed of
Properly.
properly, you know, per DNR standards, because it's all gonna be contaminated.
Like a waste oil container has to have the pad that it sits on with curb
Yep.
enough to hold
Yep.
the capacity of the container.
And can you imagine if one was burning right now with the vein on top of the side spraying water?
The numbers that the fire department give us, the 14 million gallons in 14 hours, I'd have to look it up, but it was like close to that.
It was a lot.
We did that figuration when we were getting our presentation. You said it would be gone in, the 10,000 gallons would be gone in 8 minutes or
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
calculations I did when they said it was like,
Yeah.
okay, so
So it's,
we got battery protection, or we got fire protection for 8 minutes.
you know, I know it says in that book, here's what the mandate is, but in
No.
real life, it could be way more than that. And I think because of our permeable sandy soil and where it's gonna end up in the 10 Mile Creek, or it's gonna end up in your well, it's gonna end up in my well. I just think following guidelines like that, like he was trying to tell us, I don't know if the town has any way of mandating that they have a bigger.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but Lorelei, in the state statutes, we can regulate a lot, but we can't make it cost prohibitive either.
Exactly. But, yeah, everything that you sent me is online, so I should be able to ascertain what we can use out of those.
Yes. And Rob, in going on your statement as well, everything that I researched is because of our standpoint wells, our higher water tables, our permeable soils. It is an environmental concern that brings us into being able to protect ourselves above and beyond what the standard is.
I see that.
How many batteries were?
There was 96 in the first one that's already there, and this was 67 proposed.
Yeah.
But of course, we don't have that
Yeah,
in ready yet, but that's a lot of batteries.
a lot of batteries.
And the first one doesn't have anything. It's on gravel. And if we don't do something ahead of time, the trucks are gonna start hauling gravel, and it says in there it's gonna be a 4-acre area, so they're gonna gravel it and say it's too late. They already started.
Let me
Well, they have to apply
work
for
on
permit.
this.
It's fine, but if we don't have an
Incorporating
ordinance,
this
Right,
into
yes, we need.
Yeah.
It's
ahead of time.
language from there. I'll
Yep.
see what language we need. That's a
I mean,
lot.
feel free, folks, to have input on this. If there's something that you don't like, something that you like, let's chat it out now, or at least get the conversation going. So we're not,
Can we wait until the next meeting when I've had a chance to read these codes, and then I can bring back what is pertinent? Would that be all right with everybody?
Yeah, and I'd like to see what the difference batteries require.
Yeah.
If that's your job.
I mean, when we did the database ordinance, I think we put a lot of our own language in there. I believe we didn't just follow. We didn't just follow.
No. So what happened is a couple communities got, I'm thinking something else, sorry. Nope, you're probably right.
I mean, we went off of some other towns' ordinances and
No.
stuff. I mean, that language didn't come out of the
Yeah.
book for data centers.
I made that up. We're the first data ordinance ever in Wisconsin. We have sent it to all the towns association meetings, to all of our neighbors.
I know Siegel's looking at it.
Yeah, we were kind of a pioneer on that, Rob.
Okay.
But what we
I thought
got,
we had examples from other townships
we had
for data ordinances, but maybe not.
Other states.
we had things that they were concerned about.
Yeah, okay.
That's what we went off
But I
of.
mean,
And Christie brought
we
us
kind of
forward.
made up our own with that, so.
Yeah.
With this water container.
What we don't know if it's gonna hold.
Yeah.
I mean, we hope it will.
And the reason I made the point about the cost prohibitive, because state statute actually says if we make it cost prohibitive, they'll strike it.
But Christie's got a good point, based on our soil
Yes, I
composition
agree.
and
I'm not- I want it to stand.
our private wells, I think
And-
we got a good case.
And we definitely have data on our private wells. and
Absolutely.
I mean, there's, my gosh, we have decades now.
Yeah. So, okay, I can take this.
And I've already got it marked down as a future agenda item. We know it's not going anywhere on the agenda, so we can.
Thank you. Norma, I know that, in regards to that piece for the containment and the different size batteries or parts of batteries, you could have it separated out for, because we're saying that every battery then is going to have that containment piece. You could separate it out for
Each type of battery?
each type or the facility. So this one was, what did I call it? I don't remember. Utility scale battery
Yeah.
storage. And then if we need, if you're wanting to address the smaller batteries, you could have, residential battery, break it out that way because home base ones aren't going to need a ladder underneath type of thing. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
They're
don't
usually
right
in their
now.
basement.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
we
we know
don't.
what your insurance laws.
Yeah, I mean, if there maybe two very different types of language for
Okay.
large
I'll
scale.
pay attention to
versus-
that. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, with that being on a future agenda item, is there anything else we wanted, has anybody seen in that SES ordinance that,
Well, one typo on the front page.
Really?
Line
I
number
was really
4.
careful.
Town of Saratoga is not responsible to remove or for spelled FORE, is that right?
Yeah, I seen that too. There was one other one, but I left my other copy at work. So.
You want?
Wait a minute,
No, I
where'd
had it at
you
work.
see it?
Number 4, Town of Saratoga is
Yep.
not responsible to remove
Oh,
or
I-
for.
Okay, thank you. Boy, I was really careful. I didn't want Christie to get it.
No, there was one you had last, and it was supposed to be less, but I
Okay.
left mine at work, so I had to print this up.
Okay,
Bring it.
well,
No biggie. It was
the page numbers, I mean, all of that is not even on there because this is not even anywhere near done. So, I think one thing I'd like to talk about though, when we're talking about, battery storage for solar arrays, like a battery storage system, are we tied to it being rural preservation or do we want it in commercial? Rural preservation, that's a pretty big district. I mean, we do have the 2 solar farms, but those are unusual in themselves. So,
question.
I mean, we do have, general industry, but then we don't have the land to put the solar farm in, so it would just be for the batteries. And do we want to separate them? I mean, it's just something to think about. So. Do you need a solar farm to have battery storage? No.
No, we probably don't.
No,
Grid probably uses battery somewhere.
No, I mean, what I'm thinking of Rome. Rome is putting in the solar.
Right.
Why can they not approach Saratoga and say, we want to store our batteries in Saratoga?
Well, they could, we could say no.
Right now, I don't know how we would.
Because that's in the statute, isn't the solar and the batteries tied together in the 6604?
I do not know that.
It looks like it is. I'm not an attorney, but
I don't know that. I
So-
didn't look for that.
the battery storage would go with their solar farm.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing, we got structures from that in here at Saratoga.
But we
I mean,
allow
have a
that, too.
station.
But we allowed it too, right?
Yeah, because it's just a station. It's not, it's not the field, it's not the array, and we're asking money for that. And right now there's a lawsuit, so we don't even know if it's gonna happen. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask some questions about that switchyard. That's in rural preservation.
It's not even, at this point, we don't know.
Okay. But there is a switchyard from a neighboring community who has fought tooth and nail not to have that. The boards have fought tooth and nail not to have that there, and yet the switchyard is gonna be in our township.
I want to say, Rob, we do not know the perimeters around the lawsuit. I don't think we should be voicing anything because we don't know what happened.
Well, I got a map from the Akron Solar Project that shows it being put there, but.
Well, I know it
Association
is.
owns
I
the
mean,
building.
if it goes through, I know that that's what they want to do. But the Wood County attorney and myself have been talking, and we are just not doing anything at this point because we don't know what the litigation is doing. So.
And my concern, and I was gonna bring this up last meeting, but we were bombed with stuff, and I was gonna bring this up in this map to the board about it. The first project, the batteries are right next to the switch stations. We don't know where these batteries are yet or where their switch stations are, but it seems like the switch stations and the batteries are real close proximity to the high lines. I mean, they're not gonna put the batteries and the switches way away from the high lines and then go to the high lines, and that this switch yard is right on the high lines. So I'm just being the devil's advocate here, saying you got all this Akron project and our two have the batteries right underneath the power lines and right next to the switch yard. Now are we gonna have, and that's a 40-acre parcel there, are we gonna have our neighbors'
There's
batteries
houses
in our
there too,
township?
though, Rob. If you look at the end of Akron, there's houses.
There's 4 properties there.
Yeah, so
correct?
I would,
I mean, we got houses, the people that just left live within, they could almost throw a rock on the batteries that are
Well,
proposed. So the houses are
a mile.
0.98.
Okay, and that's what they're trying to do, so I'm not sure, but I don't know that, but I'm just saying that I don't want to voice an opinion of who's right, and who's wrong with the Akron Solar, because I was not there, and I don't know what the lawsuit is, so until that's even settled, I don't know that we need to even discuss that.
I'd like to discuss it at the next meeting anyways, bring this up, look at the map so that we're all aware of where this switch yard is, where the Akron is, and discuss, just like I just did, the possibilities of us having batteries from another township in our township.
They will not come to our township.
Is that
I just think
something-
it's something that we openly have to discuss.
Well-
That's just
We need to get our
ordinance.
Yeah.
Is that something that would be beneficial to have in the ordinance that,
We don't want batteries from neighboring communities.
yeah, that.
I think
batteries-
that's fine.
Yeah, that,
But-
you know, any battery storage must.
I'm not
be
sure, but I
resolved.
think we have extraterritorial plat review when it comes to Rome too. As
Ooh.
much as they have with us. So if they try to get even too close to our borders, we would have a say. I'm not sure that say would help, but
I just think it might be worth the ink to throw a sentence or two in there stating that
I think that's a good
no
idea.
solar batteries.
Only batteries allowed in Saratoga would be those tied directly to an approved project within the town,
That's
town boundaries,
perfect.
yeah.
rather than
Verbiage.
allowing other
That is good
overflow of
verbiage.
battery storage.
Can you repeat that?
Well, Adam, I don't wanna be in a meeting with a bunch of residents out there having Rome's batteries in our township and us not.
Repeat that though?
Yeah.
Only,
The only battery energy storage systems allowed in the town of Saratoga will be those directly involved or directly related to
Projects with.
projects within,
Solar project.
projects approved within the town of Saratoga.
approved projects.
Cause that then
Got it.
knocks them out. I explain why, I'm not understanding why you wouldn't be in support of that.
Oh, no, I would be.
Okay,
No.
because you're looking like you were,
Oh, no.
like, oh, that doesn't make sense,
I'm-
because that's blocking.
Would they have to own land in Saratoga then in order to
They
put
can
that?
lease it.
They're
They're
leasing it.
leasing all of
Yeah.
this.
They're leasing.
And
it.
We're
so
the only-
wherever they're putting the Akron Solar, then the leased land, the Saratoga, like land that the same person owns?
No, they approached a person in town of Saratoga to lease some of their land.
Oh. okay.
But the person that they're gonna approach will say no, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can look at them and maybe we'll just, it's at least you have it and we're gonna discuss it, so. We don't have to do it now.
No, I will send out everything now, and if you wanna,
We'll discuss it at.
Okay,
No idea what that was.
No.
Yeah.
I just, you know, it's worth the ink to put it in our ordinance.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I think that is a good point. Did anybody else see anything that they thought was objectionable or needed to be worded a little different at all in what I had already wrote though? Or did anybody read it even?
I read
Oh,
the
yeah,
same.
I read it.
How about the, and I don't know if I'm not reading it right, and I don't know,
Okay,
reflector of reflector system, used by FES to concentrate sunlight on the solar structure.
where are you, please?
The second page definitions, about 1, 2, 3, 4 up. It might make sense. I'm trying to figure out if it does.
I was confused.
Or reflector system. That's not of, it's or.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then I've got one more question on this.
Okay.
Because now I've heard it 3 times, one time before now that there's a possibility of a switchyard being put in our town and that they're gonna, I don't know if the right phrase is gift or whatever, something to our town.
Yeah, you
You
would
know,
never.
road. Oh, you just said it tonight.
No, I said we were asking
Okay.
for a percentage of the monies, but we are mute at this point because it's in litigation. So,
Everything's on hold.
yeah, the whole project is on hold. But yes, we will not sit back and just say, yeah, okay. We want something out of it. They're utilizing our land for another municipality's project. So, yeah.
Yeah, that to me just doesn't
So
make sense at all, but
So maybe that is something that would help.
no, it won't help. I don't want the town. of
No,
Lawrence
I'm saying that only,
in our
maybe
property.
instead of saying only battery energy storage allowed in the town of Saratoga, maybe it should say any associated.
that's what I was thinking. Let's add switch things in there. Let's add
Any associated-
things cannot, associated with solar arrays outside of our community cannot be
Yeah,
based
think that's
or
what we should be-
extended into our
yeah.
community.
I think
Let's
that's what we
come
should be
out-
saying then,
come
that
out
would keep
these.
everything home.
Mm-hmm.
But then will that reflect on like the power lines too.
Meaning when they updating the power lines.
Yeah, maybe not, because that's utilities. And we
Yeah,
have,
we wouldn't have control over
we would have
utilities, so
control over that. So,
I think that wording should reflect that no aspects of a,
I'm gonna look to Adam to rephrase that.
yeah.
While you're
What about,
pulling and spraying weeds.
what about all aspects of
Only-
solar arrays, including batteries, must be,
Is that the shoe?
I believe so.
Only
That's
energy
backwards.
storage system and accessories.
I think we need to think about this.
Yeah, but I like where it's going. I mean,
Oh, and no residential use
Or-
of land
or
Oh.
the,
for that purpose either.
No, you can't do that. You're telling somebody what they can do with their own land. That's kind of.
But then how can you stop that? with
We do that every meeting.
Because we're stopping an entity, we're not stopping an owner. We're not stopping the owner of the land, we're stopping an entity from coming in.
No, if they bought it.
Yeah, if they bought it, then, yeah. But still, it's still
Then
the
it would still
entity.
follow, okay.
Have to see how that lines up with state statute.
can you read what we had again?
Only battery energy storage allowed in the town of Saratoga. Well, I can't read my own writing, just a minute. Only battery energy storage allowed in the town of Saratoga. Directly related to project in the town of Saratoga.
Oh, we're gonna have to rework that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the spirit of it is, and we can reword it so that it's not exclusive to batteries, but it'd be more inclusive to, I mean, I'm looking at battery enclosures, transformers, inverters, electrolyte storage areas, and associated hazardous material storage locations shall only be allowed in the town of Saratoga if they are directly related to an approved project within the town
Yeah.
and not an overflow from other
Mhm.
neighboring municipalities.
You just came up with that? That's awesome.
I stole the long list of things from what Christie provided.
That's awesome. I was gonna say.
But yeah, it's the spirit of it is that it has to be,
Yeah, right.
it has to be our
Yeah,
approved
and you-
project in order for it to exist here.
Right.
We're not the overflow for other municipal projects.
You could easily add one sentence on to the back of that states any, of that list, what do you want to call it, any aspect.
Associated,
Yeah, any aspects or associated solar things from an extending community are strictly prohibited within Township of Saratoga.
yeah.
Or the town's attorney will have to look at it.
Well, I think
Well,
So,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how we look at like tax bills and stuff as like, those things would all be considered like physical improvements to the land. So any physical improvements related to a neighboring town's energy project would be prohibited in the town of Saratoga.
prohibited for placement.
Yeah.
Placement.
And again, that's rural preservation land. And, with that, you have to have a cell tower as a conditional use in rural preservation. So I would think that battery storage and switches and stuff are more invasive than a cell tower. So if that's a conditional use, it should be something that the town should be able to,
Well, it should just be prohibited.
or just
Yeah.
prohibited. But, okay.
That's good though. That's
That's
good to
good.
have that topic lumped in with this.
Look at that one. Sure.
Do you get all that, Laura?
I'm working on it.
We'll
Yeah,
polish it
I'll
up a little
figure
bit. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a first time go, but just
Right.
getting it moving in the right direction for as
Yeah,
we
getting it
polish
out
this
there.
thing.
I have a very stupid question. When I read the purpose, where does it tell me that I'm looking at anything to do with the battery storage?
Okay.
Well, I looked at that too. Solar Energy Systems, SES, and even the agenda item is solar battery storage. So we definitely want to tighten up the language a little bit, and be consistent with what we're calling it.
Conditional use, it's under conditional use, it's battery storage.
Well, yeah, but I'm looking at
Looking
the
at the
first
ordinance.
page. There's nothing there that tells me that I'm looking at something to do with battery storage from a solar array.
Yeah. So maybe
Well,
the title needs to change.
I thought we were looking at the whole system, not just batteries. Are we not looking at the whole system?
And I think solar energy systems,
But you're looking, the reason for this is for the storage. It isn't for we've already got a developers agreement with the solar array
Yeah, but we're not looking at just this
on
one,
both sides.
aren't we?
We're looking at battery storage. We're trying to control that. Where does it tell me that that's what I'm looking at right here? Without going into the definitions, which are there, and then on page 3 with the districts. But it doesn't tell me anything about battery storage.
Okay,
Maybe I'm not
Yeah.
Okay.
wise enough to be able to
Well, it
grasp
can I-
this.
it
Can I
comes
answer
under
that?
the
Yeah.
conditional.
okay,
use.
so Dan, this is, solar energy storage for town of Saratoga. Under the definition of solar energy system or solar energy system, it says equipment that directly converts or transfers solar energy into usable forms of thermal or electrical energy. A solar energy system is either for individual users or commercial users who develop a solar farm. A solar energy system includes solar collectors, frames, supports, or any mounting hardware, battery storage equipment, converters, or inverters. So do you, I guess, I understand what you're saying. You want this to focus just on battery storage. You don't want it to focus on the full system? Is that what you're saying?
They want to include it at least.
Well, we've got a developers agreement, which
But-
is pretty much, I mean, it's about as good as you can ever get.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
I'm okay with whatever you guys tell me to do.
I think the
Give me direction.
solar energy systems and like you said, on the beginning there and then even there,
mhm.
kind of incorporates the battery storage equipment. And I think this ordinance is for more than just
So
Saratoga Solar. It's for any future solar.
And it's for residential and commercial businesses that come in and just want to, yeah, well, whatever you guys want. I'm
This is a
okay with it.
blanket ordinance.
Right, it's a blanket ordinance for,
I'm with,
I mean,
I'm with Dan, it should be specific, a battery
Okay.
section in it.
well,
well, I
I
think
mean,
the
we
battery
have the
section
battery
will,
section.
the battery section will come with this,
With that, yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and
I think it's just.
I told Paulette to include that in the first email that she sent it out with, but she forgot what I had said. So that's why you got your second email that said, realize that this doesn't
Yeah.
include the batteries.
And I mean, there's part about battery storage system in here. It's under the conditional use and these are labeled, so I can't tell you. 1, 2.
But I'm just saying, typically when you look at the purpose, that's what the reason for having that specific thing. You go to any of our ordinances, and the purpose of the ordinance is for solar array and battery storage.
I have no,
You could add on to the top.
I would have no problem adding that in there. Because you're right, if somebody's looking specifically for battery storage ordinance, they're not going to think that's.
Yeah, just flipping through, looking at purpose, but to me, the purpose is the title, the synopsis of
All inclusive.
of the ordinance. Like I said, that's just me. I'm
How about-
not good at ordinance.
Number
How
one.
about solar energy systems inclusive of battery storage?
Oh, like it in the, as, I
Title?
Is that title?
Or is
mean,
parentheses?
SES ordinance, I'd like to keep that short and sweet, but in the purpose, we could.
Okay.
battery storage could be mentioned as the purpose, like the very first paragraph we mentioned battery storage, you know?
Why can't we just put in parentheses right after SES, BESS, battery energy storage system?
Well, Saratoga Solar Energy Systems and Battery.
And BESS, battery energy storage systems. That's how they're referred most of the time. All this stuff it was.
But I mean, you're not gonna be able to put BESS and have everybody know, you're gonna have to write that out.
Battery energy storage system.
Sure, BESS, battery. energy
Well,
storage.
it doesn't matter how long it is. I
Yeah.
can make it a second line. Just,
Yeah.
I just add it.
And then
Okay,
I put it
let's
in-
do that.
Let's just add it.
Okay.
And then we can add bits about the battery storage into the purpose, because that will then cover both sides.
Okay. Is that what you're thinking, Dan?
To me,
Put
it's
another
just,
sentence in?
something has to be referenced there.
Okay.
And like I said, maybe just me,
No, it does make sense, because when I first looked at it, when it first came through, I was like, what? You were looking for containment. And then it was later on, so. All good. I think it's good.
Alright.
Good start.
I'll focus on the containment, this next go round. Can we talk about the placement, so I can get rid of a lot of those if you don't want them in there?
You mean in the districts? Like
That's okay.
Yeah, so do
I
we
don't
want
mind
it to be a conditional use in all of these? Or do we just not want it? Oh,
As soon as you put conditional use, you're already giving in.
that's fact,
You're already saying, well, we'll think about it.
I agree. The 5 megawatts, that's probably as large as you would get for a house. 4 is normal. So, well, 4 is high, I mean, not normal. No, it's very high. So what we could say is much what